Okay, everybody, we're going to get back here in just a second. Let me move everything in here, move you around a little bit so that we can all get a good view of September when she joins us in a moment. Again, if you need to DM me so that you can be a guest, I would truly appreciate that. Not a problem. Feel free to do. Trouble. Troubles or want to vent anything on your mind that you want to get off your mind, you can DM me for that too. For any coaching that you may need, feel free to DM me at any time if you want to be a guest, or if you need any coaching, feel free to go over to my second page. I have two. I have this page, Narc Abuse TV, in which you can join and feel free to vent and discuss your story, tell your story, share it with others, be a source of encouragement. I give a wave out to everybody. September is back with us. And the other thing is keep in mind my red flag counseling IG page, which is available to you too to get any type of encouragement. Both pages are generated on a one principal purpose, is to be positive. It's to be positive. No. So if you're coming to me for some narc bashing, I don't really have a page or two pages for that. And these discussions, though we may express ourselves, we know that all we can do is change and work on ourselves. We can't change or do something with the narc. The narc is going to be a narc no matter what we do. But we can go fight for our children, right, September? we can't. Yeah, they're going to stalk us. They're going to do whatever. They're going to do that. But I got to get back to when you were talking about not seeking a mate right now, not dating, as you put it. Because you still had clinginess that you were talking about. You're not unique. I'm just saying. I mean that you are a unique person, but in that situation, there's a lot of people that feel the same way, whether male or female, about what you're saying. But can you explain it a little bit more for somebody that's kind of going through it and they're kind of confused how they feel? Because you seem to know exactly where you're going and where you're headed. That can help somebody else.
Well, I think one, I want all of my focus to be on doing this right now, on speaking out, so that I'm empowering other women and building up my children as they grow and things like that. So I just want to focus on this right now. But then there's also, the clinginess that I was talking about. For me, it's not like a physical clinginess. It's not like I need to be with him all the time or calling him all the time or texting or any of those kinds of things. It's more like there's this energetic clinginess. I don't know a better way to describe it, but there's that energy that kind of clings. And so as long as I'm feeling that, I'm not going to put myself in that position, because I feel like that means that I'm just not ready yet. I haven't reached the point of healing, but that doesn't make me unabusable. In fact, I think that self-awareness is what makes me unabusable. Does that make sense?
Okay. So no, I want to repeat it back, because if anybody knows, if you ever listen to me here or have had a session with me, I'm a guy, so I have to repeat what you said. So make sure I'm on the. You say it. See, women say stuff just fine. I just have to repeat it back and make sure I'm on the same page with you or understand what you're saying. So you're telling me that you need to make sure, and correct me if I get it wrong, that you are self-aware that your energy is getting put out the wrong way and coming across maybe clingy to that person as if you need them to complete you. But in reality, you have a mission already, a purpose, which is you're already doing your thing, which is that's good, that's natural. But you still feel a little bit in which it just doesn't feel right if you had another person come along, because you're going to be clingy to them, but not in a physical way, emotionally clingy per se.
Well, remember how we were talking about him healing me, and that was his focus.
Healing? Right.
So
got it. Got it. Because he was looking at your weaknesses, is what you're saying. So he's coming around going like, hey, you know what? You need me to fix you.
Yes. And that's what I don't.
You don't want that. So, no, you don't want that. None of us do. But
perfect, then all day. When I have no more flaws.
Okay. I'm just going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. That ain't going to happen. You're going to be single for a long time. You're going to be single for a long time. Okay. So, no, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Well, hey, first of all, this now here. Well, okay, personal opinion. As I tell my daughters, there's nothing wrong with being single.
No, there's not.
There's definitely, actually, it's a gift. At least personally speaking, as a believer, singleness is a gift given to us by our Creator, just as marriage is a gift. But the reality of it is, if you're single and you know that you don't want to be dealing with no foolishness, then you're better off staying single
Yeah.
because you're going to take on somebody else's imperfections in history. And if they're not open enough to tell you, if you're talking to somebody and all you do is talk about yourself, and they're on a reconnaissance mission and finding out your weaknesses, and you never find out nothing about them, that's a huge red flag.
That's the problem.
Because get ready for the abuse. The abuse is coming around the corner. And so you're avoiding that abuse because you're choosing to have a purpose of your children, of speaking out, empowering other women who are abuse victims, which is the whole point of this Narc Abuse TV. The whole point is exactly why I wanted you on the show, and everybody else that has been on the show before you and coming after you, is because there are a number of people that are going through, women and men that are going through situations just like what you described up to this point. And just for an overview for everybody, because some people are joined that were not here at the beginning. I know everybody can see it later, but this is just for those that just joined. You had a man come into your life who's a lawyer, and the overview is he's used his position in the town he lives in and his father's background and his connections with judges to have sole custody of the children that you guys had together and your children as a whole. He even teamed up with your ex-husband and had a narc party, as it were, to turn against you. No, I'm sorry. Stuff comes out of me. I should script it, but this is not that kind of show. So to me, they had a narc party. They got together and they got a narc alliance against you, as if there was one nation against two nations against you, and went against your nation of peace and quietness. He was stalking you. He's using cameras at the house. He's using every way he can to let you know you're my piece of property, that you're just a piece of flesh and you're a piece of property. And your mama bear, it has been awakened, and it has it's rocking and rolling, doing what you can each day to move toward making sure that your children know that you're not a quitter, and that you're a wonderful person who's going to do some phenomenal things, and be ready for them because they're going to return to you. I know I'm cramming a lot of stuff into what I just said, but that's what I'm supposed to do as a narrator. I just narrated us right to where we need to be, because your advice to women, if they're not sure about having a man in their life or being single, and they don't feel good per se about it, what would be your advice to them? What should they do? Should they be consumed about the guy coming, or should they be consumed about, like you said, you lost focus on you? What would be your advice to somebody right now going through that process of whether to date again, whatever?
The biggest thing is to focus on you. And one of the reason that financial abuse is so prevalent is because it works. It's because that's one of the biggest reasons that women don't leave abusive relationships. Is because you don't know how they're going to pay for an apartment, or there's all of that stuff. So I think that a big part of the next phase of feminism and women's empowerment is going to be finances. Susie Orman's got it right. She's all about, empowering women through money.
She is.
And so I listen to podcasts every single day. Women and money.
By the way, we're going to have to go back to you're going to have to say her name again because some people don't know who she is, but she does give some very strong, solid advice for women, especially, to make sure that they are financially safe. Because safe for themselves, and not giving up their money and trusting some man is going to just take care of everything. What's her name again for everybody?
Susie Orman. And she's wonderful, but I think that the thing to remember with anything like that is that everybody's going to throw out different pieces of advice. Take the strength energy. That's what's more important than the actual pieces of advice for money and what you do. It's more about the strength energy. And if you listen to that over and over and over again, every single time you do, you're drawing from her strength and her belief in your ability to be wealthy and to be financially stable. And every single time you listen, you're pulling a little bit more of that into yourself. So, and not just Susie Orman, there's a lot of other people out there.
There's tons. There's tons of them.
Getting money, because when women have money, like, we're untouchable.
Changes. We're
unabusable. I mean, it changes everything. So,
Yeah.
so I
When a
really
woman,
on money.
and it doesn't have to be a lot of money.
No,
It
no,
doesn't have
no.
to be, it's just a little bit, just and a little bit, okay, to another little bit, into another
Yeah,
little bit. Okay,
yep.
because a man can have a little bit and he'll go blow all of that little bit and start from zero all over again. But a woman is smart enough, she'll go like, I have a little bit. Okay, I can go spend this much, but I'm gonna hold on. And then and it grows and it grows and it grows. So what you're saying is very valuable. And please, if anybody's listening and you're not sure about what to do, about how to get money come across, if you get $5, you're empowered yourself.
Yeah.
If you get $10, take the 5 and it becomes 7. You've empowered yourself. Don't If you take your recyclables in and you come up with some money and get recyclables the next week, you have just empowered yourself because you don't need to have that person in control of that little bit of money. And that little bit of money, if you're patient, will grow because you're looking at what you said, the strength part of it, right? That's kind of
Yeah.
what you highlighted.
Draw the strength from anybody that you listen to. Draw the strength from them. You know, there was a point in the relationship where I started setting some money aside to invest for myself and was only going to have
Yeah.
my name on the accounts. He threw a fit. He threw a fit. And so I didn't do it, which I regret to this day.
Oh,
But,
yeah. Well, it
you know,
happens. It happens.
he
Yeah.
just, I mean, it was a temper tantrum. It was so, like, yeah.
And you called it right though. It was a temper tantrum,
It is a
right?
temper tantrum. I mean,
Seriously.
yeah, all of it. Our whole separation, it's just been one big temper tantrum that has not gone the way that he intended. All he wanted was control.
Oh yeah.
Was to
Oh
control
yeah.
me. And it
Well,
hasn't gone that way.
he thought you were going to back down. See
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
that's the miscalculation. See, narcs miscalculate so bad. First, their entire life is one huge miscalculation. Okay.
Yeah.
They thought that they picked somebody that they found out their weaknesses. Narcs do this, and they say, okay, if I push this button, and I circle around and I push this one and this one, they're going to collapse. The walls are going to collapse on them. They got to come to me. They got to stay under my care. Now I got somebody I can control until I get old. And I have children too. I can manipulate them and live off of their accomplishments. They become a lawyer or a doctor or do good in sports. I can stand next to them in the picture and go like, look what I created. And they had no hand in it at all. And so they think, and then the next thing they know, they find out they thought they put you in a box, like you, for example, and others, you know, and they go like, this person's getting out of the box. I got to do something. So they got to go and devalue and love bomb and confuse them again, gaslight, and none of that's working because now the person's awakening and they're coming alive. And they didn't go to Hawaii like you did. But now you done went to Hawaii and became even stronger. You got a vacation out of the whole thing. You're like, now it's like, wait a minute, I'm alive. Now you're like Godzilla in those movies where you're coming onto the shore and everybody's scared. That's what he is. He's like, you're like Godzilla coming and he knows you're coming. He just doesn't know exactly when. So now he's in chase mode trying to figure out what you're doing so he can get prepared, but he does not understand. He has the enemy in his home right now, the children. The children are going to be you, but not just one you, multiple yous. No matter what he puts in their head, at some point it's going to fall off. It's not going to work. And he doesn't recognize that in his possession is what's going to hurt him. Give him the biggest narcissistic injury are going to be your beautiful children that are going to recognize mom has been done wrong and justice needs to be given. And you're going to do whatever you can, but they're going to be the one to administer the justice because they're going to cut him off. That's what's going to hurt him the most.
Well, hopefully, we'll see what happens when I get them back and we all heal together. I want to teach them forgiveness and I want to teach them, it's a tough situation when you're talking about parents though, because even if the father's a narc, do you really want the children to have no relationship with them? Like, I didn't really learn a lot about who I was until I developed a relationship with my father because I am my father's daughter in so many ways. And I had all of these traits and characteristics that I didn't know where they came from because they didn't match up with my mom. So when I got to know him, that's when I was like, oh, and the kids they're half him. So they're going to have some of his traits and characteristics. Narcs are still human. And so even though he's a narc, like they're still going to have some of, his, I can't think of a positive quality right now. Come on, there's got to be something.
There is. Okay, there is. So let's walk through this because somebody else, many people are dealing with it. Let's walk through this part of the narc. and being the parent and the positive qualities. The first thing in many cases the children run into is they want to understand what took place and who was wrong. And in the process of that, they start to understand what you're going to be teaching them. Can you still hear me, by the way? My thing just went. Okay. They're gonna understand what forgiveness is. That you can forgive a person's imperfections and you can cover a multitude of things that they're doing with love. But at the same time, they have to now learn what it means to be abused. And so there are qualities. There's some. I'm quite sure if you and I talked 72 hours from now, you would be able to come up with one or two qualities that you find about the narc that's really good. And so your laughter right now is funny because you looked up trying to think one quality. Well, one thing is for sure. I know you are. What's funny is I'm sitting here trying to have a straight face and I'm going like, girl, you can just right now you can't think of nothing because you're in a whole nother frame of mind right now. We gotta wait three days and you'll be thinking something. Well, one thing is for sure, the narc is going to be persistent, and yes, indeed, they are humans. This is not, and like I said, I'm not into narc bashing. I'm into the reality that this person has issues. We can review those issues, but like I told somebody else that we're going to do a show together. We're going to sit and talk about the things that a person can do to see the good in that person, so that they can get along with them. But one thing is for sure, if it's a parent and the parent is narcissistic.
Are you still there?
Yes, I am. When a person is narcissistic and they're the parent, the children and the mate, and the other parent have to navigate very carefully, because the tendency is for the narc to push them and push them. They really push people away from themselves. In many cases, they do so much and they feel like it's almost unforgivable that they put themselves in a certain position. So you have the part of rebuilding any relationships or strengthening relationships that they have with the narc that's ahead of you, as well as working with your children yourself. But you're going to have to find, yes, one or two things that you can point to the children and say, these are qualities that they have. And when you're around them, kind of stick to those qualities, because they'll take you on a tangent and attack your character. And you're going to have to recognize that they do have these good characters, and it may be limited and supervised contact that they're going to have. It may be self-imposed. The court may never be involved in this part where they have to go deal with their parent, and it needs to be a supervised way that they got to kind of deal with them. But it's self-imposed supervision, so they can maintain a safe place for their emotions. Their emotions still have to be in a safe place because they've been traumatized too. I mean, they've been taken from their home and had to go in a women's shelter, and then on the other end may be told, well, yeah, she's crazy. You guys didn't even have to go through that. So there's confusion and many cognitive issues that come into play for them. But whatever it is, you are the woman that's going to be able to handle it. He has thoroughly underestimated your ability to forgive, your ability to be a remarkable, incredible, and phenomenal woman. A remarkable, incredible, and phenomenal woman. That is not what he wanted to tell you unless he wanted something from you. Because this is now what you're going to be telling yourself. This is what others see about you, because now you're not living in that bubble of narcissism. You've gotten away from that bubble of narcissism. When a person does that, again, you got to go to Hawaii, girl. You got to go to Hawaii. I know, okay, you didn't even tell me that in the pre-show prep. And I'm going like, you told me that, and I'm listening to it, and I didn't want to talk about nothing else. I go like, so tell me about Hawaii. And you got something to tell to your children. I mean, just the fact that you were able to do that to your 5 daughters.
But they did use that against me in court. Once they found me in Hawaii and realized that that's where I was, that was that, hey, would we all love an extended vacation in Hawaii? And of course, I'm sitting there going, I would choose my children and the worst place to live on earth over being in Hawaii without my children. But, that's not an option right now.
But this is what's interesting. They go to use that in court against you, and you said he found you in Hawaii. So in actuality, the court only did, they're just triangulating. He's just using the court to triangulate you and his flying monkeys. Because what it is, he was envious because you're living the life. You're living a life narc-free, essentially, without him. And he thought, like a narcissistic Robin Hood, he would come in and kidnap all the children and take all your personal possessions that you love, and now you're not going to be happy. What? She's in Hawaii? That was a narcissistic injury. That was his envy being kicked into a whole nother gear, and his jealousy, because he thought you would just crawl into a corner and give up. So there were times you may have been in the corner, you may have cried, but the problem is he never thought that you were going to get back up. Not only just get back up, you keep getting back up. And so because of that, these are the plane ticket, the going to Hawaii, all these things that have been happening to you in a positive way, seemingly little in many cases, but having a huge effect on you, are going to be the things that's going to really help your daughters. I didn't know you had 5 girls. You got 5 girls?
I got 5 girls. Yeah. They're awesome.
You're an amazing mom, and I refuse to go down that road because I know you don't want to cry.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it because I'm telling you, we both going to be crying.
Yeah. One thing that I've been thinking a lot lately is sometimes I have to remind myself.
You're breaking up a little bit. Go ahead. And if it continues to break up, we may have to get another signal, but go ahead. Keep going. We're going to try to stick it out. So we will see in just a moment. Okay.
So it's kind of an interesting dynamic there, but.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Could you hear all of that?
Because the signal's going in and out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, the signal for the first time is really starting to give us some trouble. Okay? So for 8 months, what again? What for 8 months? What did you say? Repeat that for everybody.
So I'm saying I've been gone out of that environment for 8 months. You know, that's when I left for Hawaii. So it's been that long, and I still have to remind myself sometimes that I'm not in an abusive environment anymore. Nobody's abusing me right now. Like I literally have to say that to myself sometimes. Nobody's abusing me right now. So it's kind of interesting. Even though you're crying like this morning, or actually it was last night. Last night.
Oh no, yeah. You know, well, you're gonna find out a lot probably over the next 4 to 6 months or so what his determination skill is about coming after you, because I mean that's kind of like a feeler he's putting out to trying to see what he can and cannot do, and is there where the door is the door slamming his foot, or is it totally shut? He's trying to figure it out. You have the upper hand. He may have the court. And he may have that town he's in, but you have the upper hand because he's chasing you.
This signal is not good.
Up. Yeah, it's broke up a little bit. He's running out of what again?
He's running out of ways to torture me because, you know, he took the kids from me. Now he took the older kids from me. Once that was over with, that happened, 3-4 weeks ago, somewhere around there. And so now he's bored and he's like, how can I torture her now? And so now he's, you know, starting up stupid shit again.
You're right.
Sorry,
you're right. You're right. That's all right. That's all right. You're absolutely correct. Okay. So at this point, I've got 1, 2, 3. I've got 5 or 6 things that I want to ask you, but I'm not going to ask you none of that unless we talk about it when we're not doing this. Or I may DM you and we talk some more, because I told you we're going to need to do a checkup and see how things are going as time goes on. But are you still there? You still there? You still there?
Yeah.
The signal's coming in, it's going in and out. Okay. So if you can hear me, it's kind of a bad signal. But if you can hear me, because I'm about to do something that I need you to be patient with and try to have some fun with. We're going to play a game. We're going to play a game with your page. We're going to pick a posting that you did. This is called the Pick a Post game with your Instagram page. So I'm going to your page. I don't know if you're able to do this right now because you're on your phone. I think we talked about this before. You're on your phone.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can pull it up or not, but I'm going to read something to you from your page.
Okay.
I got to do that and make my noise because we're going to play this game now. I just initiated it yesterday. I just started it yesterday. If it gets no traction, I really don't care. But I want to play it anyhow. So we're going to play it. I'm going to pick something. I'm going to pick something at random. So I just spin that up there like that. I'm going to spin it again. I got to your page. I'm just going to pick something. Then I'm going to ask you, what did you mean when you posted this? Are you ready? I'm going to read it out to you. It
I'm
says
ready.
abusers control, manipulate, and make you feel like you are the one with the problem. Stand up, speak out, and take back your life. You are not to blame. You posted that on July 23rd. What did you mean what were you thinking when you posted that?
I mean, I think it's absolutely true. This type of abuse causes the victim to feel crazy. And, you literally feel like you're losing your mind. I remember a day when I looked at him, we were arguing, and I said to him, I'm losing my shit. Can you see that I'm losing my shit? And he said, yes, I can. And like, that was it. So you literally feel like you're going crazy. And I was always trying to, fix the relationship. I thought that if I was better, if I was anything than I was, then
Right,
he would stop abusing me and we would be happy and everything would be fine,
right.
right? So I was always
Yeah.
trying to fix myself to fix the relationship. So I always thought that I was the one with the problem. But I think what I love is on the internet, there's like this whole subculture, which is, it's sad that it exists, but it's super empowering. But all of the empaths who are kind of coming together and saying, look, I'm not doing this narc thing anymore. And so I'm going to tell my story so that the next person sees the red flags and doesn't even get in anywhere close to
Yes.
being in the situation that I'm in. So
Yes.
that's the speaking.
Yes.
That's why I think that speaking is so empowering. So when I got to Hawaii, I
Yes, it
had the
is.
coolest experience. I had been in Hawaii less than a week, didn't really have any friends yet, was still kind of getting my bearings around there, learning the area and everything. And one night I went to a bar and I'm sitting at the bar and this guy comes up and we strike up a conversation. A couple minutes later, his wife comes in and joins the conversation. And she and I, there was like an immediate connection there. And we exchanged phone numbers. And then like a day or two later, we're on the phone with each other. And I'm
Yes.
sobbing because it's still so raw for me. So I'm just sobbing, telling her my
Right, right,
story and
right.
everything. And she says, September, 10 years ago, I walked away from my kids for basically the same reasons. And I was like, moms don't walk away. Like, that's what
Wow.
they're banking on. That's what they're banking on is
Yes.
moms don't walk
Yes.
away. And so they,
Yes.
like me doing that was like, it was so out of left field for them, they couldn't even process it. So, but I met this woman, she said that to me. And then the other thing that she said was, for every one of us that does this and speaks out, we're empowering thousands and thousands of other women. And so that's
Absolutely
really
correct.
stuck with me. And that's really
Absolutely
why, like,
correct.
it's so important to me to use my voice. And then another epiphany that I just had the other day is they took everything. Like, they literally took my entire world from me, right? The only thing that I have left right now is my voice. And so, and I'm going to speak loud and I'm going to not stop speaking. So I'm unsilenceable
Oh
and I'm
my goodness.
unabusable. So there you go.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I see tons of t-shirts that you can make right now and sell them for 24.99 online. And it's like hashtag you should that should just be your thing. Hashtag unabusable. That should just be you.
Hashtag
And you
unabusable. I
just
love
listen.
it.
Yes, no, I'm telling you, you should no wait. That should be now everybody's gonna get I don't care. If everybody gets tired of hearing me say this to every guest I have, that should be the name of your book. Everybody keeps going, why does this guy keep telling me, people DM me and go like, when are you going to write a book about all your guests? That's not my thing. My thing is doing this right now and other things and coaching on the back end. What? Website. Is that what you, yeah, that's your marketing thing. You know what? As soon as you do that, I know the signal's going in and out, everybody, if you watch this later. Are you still there with me? Are you still got it? Or did you freeze on me? So it's going to be coming in a second. But I see Survivor Inside put, that's powerful. Your story is indeed a powerful one. I'm trying not to to disconnect and then come back in again. But hopefully she will catch up to me there in a second. If not, I may have to finish out what we're going to be doing. But what I was going to tell you is, are you there? Just let me know if you're there. You can hear me. Just go ahead and say something so I know you got me. But okay, so hashtag unabusable is what you were saying. The other thing was, I just have to read to everybody something that you wrote. And what you wrote was, it said, let's see here. Let's see here. You put down here, yes, I've told people that he's so good at convincing others that I'm crazy. He even convinced me that I'm crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It says it took months of therapy, and reading several books to show me that all victims of this type of abuse end up wondering if they're the crazy one, the ones to blame for all the problems. Stand up and speak. It is so healing. It empowers others who are still suffering to speak. You wrote that. You wrote that back in July. And we are now in the month of August. And you have proved those words true by standing up and speaking out. Now, I only picked one thing here on this page, okay? And that's not fair because the other day I picked more than one. But I know this has been breaking up and stuff like that. But since I got signal, I got to pick something else. I picked something else. Okay, I picked this. Oh, I picked this. Oh, I picked this. I picked that. I picked that. I picked that. Dude, that's pretty good. See, now look, it stopped right here. I picked it like right here, so I can't pick that one. I got to pick this one now, so we got to move it up like that so everybody can see. Can everybody see that there? That's September. That's September at different phases of your life. So tell everybody, what am I looking at here? I haven't read the caption on it yet. We may lose signal, so I may have to tell them. Oh, my big finger got in the way. Okay. We got signal issues here. So we got three pictures here. We're gonna wait for your signal to come in. Is your signal in? You got okay, so go ahead.
So so the one in the middle was taken it was taken like January or February, and he left in March. So it was like at the absolute peak. I was at my lowest possible point, and you can see it on my face. You can see how much pain.
Yes,
yes. The one with the big smile, that's me. I was speaking on stage. I was on top of the world at that point in my life. We had become friends by this point, but I don't think that we had started dating yet. So it was like as we were like right at that point where we were about to start dating.
Okay.
And then the other one is a shot that was taken last December. So I had been out of the abuse for about 9 months at that point. So, and my aunt actually put these together for me, and she said, you look at the difference, like look at you, how much you changed, how much, what he did to you changed you. And so that middle one, like you can see that pain. And you can see, I think in the one where I'm standing, you can see that I'm still healing. I don't think I'm healed yet, even now. You can see that there's healing happening.
Well, one thing is for sure, and everybody go take a look at September's page. You'll find it, of course. I make note of it in the description for this. But one thing is for sure, when I looked at it and it caught my attention, it's what I always look for anyhow, is in the eyes. The eyes say a lot through this through these three pictures. And your aunt who put this together, is that what you said?
Yeah.
She was absolutely correct. You can there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference. Yeah. Look, there's another picture that should be added. It's the one that's right now. You may not know it or not. I know because I looked at it the night we did the show prep and looking at it now. You're not even this person anymore. This person right here.
I've come a long way.
Yeah. Your eyes are different from that person. Yes, you're not even that person. And now because you told all of us some things now, and you've mentioned what you said to me, I can see why. Because you are not even that person. You're not even that person. When I was putting the promo together for the show and I was looking at it, I was going like, yeah, you don't even, the person I talked to the other night is not that person right there. You've grown since then. Or in other words, you've detoxed more. You've detoxed more from what you've gone through. More. I kind of lost you there for a second. You were saying, we'll get you back there before we have to head out. We're going to give it a moment. And again, remember, everybody, please remember to go to September's page. It'll be noted there. But you've detoxed more since then.
Well, yeah, but that picture was taken.
I was hoping we get her back there for a second. Getting kind of tough.
Can you hear me?
Okay? So You were no, not really. It's chopping up real bad on us there. So you were in the same town at the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was December, so that was before I fled. So I was still in the midst of the stalking. I was still in the midst of, the family court stuff. Like that was all still going on. So I think I had come a long, long way just being away from him. Actually, the best thing that I did was get that first protective order because it forced no contact. And because he's an attorney, he wasn't going to mess with that. And, he was going to try to keep
Okay.
everything by the book. And so that
Mhm.
no contact, that 14 days of no contact was like probably the best 14 days that I could have ever asked for because he
Wow.
couldn't do anything to me
Yeah.
psychologically. And so yeah, that picture, I was still in the midst of the stalking. I was still in the midst of the family court stuff. And, now I'm here and I'm okay, like that's all over. I got through the hell. I kept going and I wouldn't say I'm on the other side because I'm not with my kids yet. And that's, to
Yeah.
me,
Right. Right.
when I'm back with my kids, that's when I'll be on the other
Yeah.
side. But so I'm still in the midst of it in that sense. I still have a lot of pain because I miss my kids.
Yeah.
But I've healed. I've healed so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so different.
Yeah.
So, and
They
that
are
women,
your children are good.
one of the most beautiful experiences that I had throughout this whole thing was the women's shelter in Hawaii. And the other women that were there, we healed together and we healed each other and we bonded, and it's this incredible bond that we developed because we were healing together. And so I have this theory that's developing about what happens when women actually embrace each other and heal together and do nothing but try to uplift each other and support each other and root each other on and things like that. Like that's powerful stuff right there. And I don't think anything comes
Wow.
anywhere close to that power. So I want
Wow.
women healing together. I want women to recognize the power of that and the strength of that and to start doing it more.
I'm going to read it again. You are an admirable, cool, remarkable, phenomenal, incredible woman. And those 5 young ladies, when they get in your presence, they're going to have a lot of things that they can absorb from you. And because this
We
experience
keep
has,
talking about the girls. I do have 2 boys too, just to throw that out there so that they don't feel left out if they ever watch this video. I have 2 boys that I love and
okay, wait.
they're
Let's,
not
we're
all
going to
girls.
rewind. We're going to rewind. Those 5 girls are going to be so amazing when they are able to absorb what you've been through. But those 2 young men are going to learn a lesson on how to treat a woman because of the
Yeah.
mother that they have. The woman that
I,
you are has been neglected and has been ignored. The core of who you are has been abused, but it has not been destroyed. You are beyond recovery. You are now empowered. You are a person that is out there. People have different terms about kicking this and doing this and doing it. You are so stealthy cool that it is unbelievable. I'm serious because even telling the story when we were talking in the pre-show prep, you were so calm and I'm getting agitated. I'm going like, but I'm trying to be cool. So I'm going like, and he did what? And he did, I was like that, like one of those bad housewife reality shows. I'm getting all upset inside and I'm going like, okay, calm down, Paxton, calm down. Because I'm going like, this is just wrong. Somebody needs to come to her defense. And if you notice, when we were doing the show prep, when we got toward the end, I got kind of lost with words because I'm thinking, I need to call somebody. I need to call this. Somebody needs to help this woman get her kids back. But you know what? Everything comes at its time.
unabusable. Survivor
Yes,
Inside.
did you
Just
see
do
that? So
hashtag
Survivor
unabusable. I
Inside.
love
Do
it.
you see what you started? Do you see what you
I
started?
love
Wait,
it.
what's so really cool is the day that you're walking around with all 7 of your children and they're wearing shirts that say that that say that.
Yeah.
Hashtag
And we see
unabusable.
other people wearing the shirts too. There's other
Yes,
people.
yes.
That'll be
You better
amazing.
jump on. Hey, you better jump on that
It's going
before
on the
somebody else
website.
does.
I don't know if we do it. I'll figure it out. We got
Put it on
merch.
your
We got
website.
merch now.
Hashtag. That is your hashtag. It
Hashtag
should be your
unabusable.
hashtag. And then put your initials at the end of it. Put your initials, whatever your initials are, or put September. Hashtag unabusable September. And everybody's going to think, is she talking about the month September? Wait, and then you got to get
Yeah.
the Earth, Wind, and Fire song September and let that be your theme. Let that be your theme every
There you
time.
go.
You just,
There you
anyhow,
go.
look, And sometimes in these painful situations, we got to find some way to have some humor, but we definitely need support when we go through them. And right now, you've made some friends with Survivor Inside and others, and you know you have a friend you have a friend in me is one of my favorite movies, Toy Story. The song goes, "You have a friend in me." So listen, anytime you want to vent, anytime you want to talk about it, feel free. You know, I'm always open. Send me a voice notes if you ever want to do that. But one thing is for sure, please keep doing what you're doing. Don't change a thing about yourself, because the narc likes to make us think that, like you said, you thought something was wrong with you and you were crazy, and that was farther from the truth. There was nothing about you that was crazy. And now you've gotten some time to detox and start working on your healing. And it's just a matter of time that you're being given now to get ready for the return of all 7 of your children. Your very wise and intelligent young men are going to learn what it's like to treat a woman good. Not only to have a woman, but to keep her, to know what it means to keep her. You know, you can't keep crazy. See, when somebody's crazy, they always want to leave and go do whatever they want to go do. It's like trying to put a stray dog in your yard. They're going to always find a way to dig out. As soon as you open the gate, they're going to shoot out. And that's what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a narc. But they're going to understand when you get a normal person, this is how you treat a normal person. When you're dealing with crazy, crazy is unpredictable. You can't count on crazy. You know, one day they're okay 2 hours in the morning, and 2 hours later they're out trying to get you. So you survived all that.
That's why I think that the self-love is so important, and filling yourself up, because then you don't attract the crazy. You know,
yes,
you just don't.
Yes.
And you
no, you're right.
Stand for it. So
you're right.
When you see
right. And I'm glad
those red flags, you're just going to instantly be like, nope, this is not for me. Nope.
No, it's not for you. Yeah, and be able to calmly just walk away, because you go like, I can't let that in here. And please, everybody that watches this, please remember to get a hold of September, even if it's just to let her know that you enjoyed her story and her survival story. And again, just give her a shout out as hashtag unabusable, please. You're officially hashtag. You are officially hashtag unabusable. I submit myself to your glory. To your glory. You are officially a hashtag. You're okay. You know, I would love to use it, but anytime I talk about you, I'm going to do that. I'm going to make sure the title of these videos are hashtag unabusable, because you are indeed a woman.
I should check and make sure that it's not actually taken. I said I should check and make sure that it's not actually taken already.
Hey, you better turn that entrepreneur spirit. You know, you're a woman who runs her own business kind of concept, so you better go ahead. Hey, we're going to go now, so you need to go handle your business, because that's going to be the way that you take care of yourself off of that. You better put some t-shirts together and post them online. You know, they got t-shirt companies that'll make you a t-shirt. You just tell them what you want. Okay, we got Joy Lives in Hope says, September, please message me. Being followed on every media platform help. Yes, she's talked about that before. You could be a big help to her in that. I've heard her story before. So please make sure you reach out to her, September. And anybody else that would like to get a hold of Joy Lives in Hope, she's been followed many times over and been stalked by her ex. It's just pathetic. Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, if you don't want somebody, just go on about your business and let them go. Don't keep bothering to follow them around and stalking them. It seems like they would grow up and do that, but you know, this is the plight we have to deal with when somebody's self-absorbed. You have been a beautiful guest. Huh? Say that again.
I said, but it's about control. The stalking is about control.
Yes. So. Yeah, about control. Thank you so much. I've overstayed my welcome here on the Instagram. Until another time, I will talk to you. And thank you very much, whoever wrote that. Thank you so much, September and Narc Abuse TV. Very empowering. That's the whole point of this particular project that we're doing. If you know anybody that needs to get their story out, is detoxing and healing, this is a vehicle and a platform they can use along with others. DM me for that. And please get a hold of hashtag unabusable September. Thank you, September. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
Great show. Great show. We'll see you later. Thank you. Bye-bye. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.